Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there, enjoying your day. Sorry, coming in a little bit hot. Let me fix that. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Okay. Man, it's Friday. Woo! It's Friday. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I'm happy that it's Friday. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely happy it is Friday. But we got some updates. A few bits and pieces of information revolving around this case that we talked about just the other day. And I figured, you know what? We should circle back, talk about it again. There's a few pieces of stuff, like we got a timeline now. We got more family members speaking out, putting in their 2 cents about everything. Same people, but they're just talking more. They're just saying more. And there are people, family members, also putting posts online and saying things like more details about this guy, okay? The friend that was was renting this house, okay? So we got some things we got to talk about and all that. So and I don't have a whole lot of time, but I wanted to give you guys a quick, short, and concise kind of a conversation. So do me a favor, okay? Before we get into everything, you already know the deal. Hit that like button down below. Make it do what it do. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure you hit that reaction button underneath this video right here. That would be greatly, greatly appreciated. If you're watching on any other platforms, please be sure to hit that like button and all that stuff. React. That would be really appreciative, okay? Of course, if you haven't done this yet, you're watching on YouTube, please be sure to crush that subscribe button, please and thank you. Hit that follow button on my Facebook page. That'd be awesome as well. And follow me on all my other social medias, The Pascal Show, one word. Also, check out my merch page, which we will be talking about in just a little bit. But go check out pascalmerch.com. Got some really great stuff out there. Got some new stuff that just dropped this morning. Literally just minutes before I came on here live. We got some new merch available right now as we speak on pascalmerch.com or beautifulbeefcollections.com. Go check those things out. Don't worry, we'll be talking about that even more in a little bit. Okay. And of course, if you want to support the channel, hit that join button down below. That'd be greatly appreciated. You can also support the show by going over to my Patreon, patreon.com/The Pascal Show as well, and support over there if you can. Okay, but let's get into this, guys. All right. And of course, S-Dubs, thank you so much. I'm going to actually pin that to the top of the chat so that you guys can see that. Go check it out. Again, I'm just going to say it now since we're talking about the website, pascalmerch.com. I'm going to say it now. Here it is. The Valentine's Day collection, okay, or at least part 1 has dropped, okay, and it is a hoodie set just like this, okay, handcrafted by yours truly. All right, if you like this, it is available now. There's also bottoms to it. There's also joggers. Bang. Okay, I showed these last night, but I'm showing these to you guys again. They are now available live right now on pascalmerch.com or beautifulbeefcollections.com. Go check them out. Look at those, check them out, and consume. Buy one for your girl or your man's, whatever. If you're doing something really nice for Valentine's Day and you want to do something unique instead of just a box of chocolates or some roses, maybe something like that. Okay? Go check it out. That is part 1. Just so you guys know, part 1. But you're like, baby, there's more? Oh, yeah, there's more. Okay. But if you like that, go check it out, consume it, get your grubby little hands on them now while supplies last. Okay. Because it is going to be a limited dish. Let me just say that really, really quick. Okay. All right. And again, handcrafted by me, by these hands. Seriously. Okay. This is not being bought somewhere else, shipped in, and then, I stamp my name on it and is, stamp the logo on it and send it to you guys. Hail to the gnaw. I don't play like that. Okay. Just so you know. Handcrafted by yours truly. All right. Okay. Now let's get into this. All right. Sophia, really quick. Yes, I do. Well, for the most part, it's extra small all the way to 3 to 4XL, depending on the make. So go check it out. All right. So if you have a kid, I would say stay in the extra small to small area. It'll fit the kids just fine. I don't know how old your kids are, but yes, I do very, very small sizes as well. Okay, just so you guys know. All right, check it out. Go over there. All answers or all questions can be answered through the website pascalmerch.com or beautifulbeefcollections.kazam. Okay, go check it out, consume, and I hope you have a very happy Valentine's. Okay, now my funny Valentine collection out right now. All right, you guys named it, by the way. Y'all named it, so it is up and live right now. Okay, we got to get into this. As you guys already know, there were 3 men. Hold on. Where's that photo? There it is. There were 3 men that went to watch a football game with a friend of theirs. Okay? With a friend of theirs. And they never left the house. Now, the thing is there's a lot of people that are questioning this because it seems a bit weird. 1 minute they're out going and seeing a football game. All Chiefs fans, go Chiefs, right? All fans, they all have something in common. They went to this guy's home to watch the game, maybe to have some drinks, eat some pizza, the normal football watching party kind of thing. Okay. Then suddenly out of nowhere, family and friends are wondering, where the heck are these 3 men? What happened? Where are they? They haven't come home. It's Monday and Tuesday. Most of these guys have 9 to 5s. They're supposed to be at their jobs, but they're not even showing up to their jobs. So they start calling the owner or the actual renter of the house, texting him, etc. They know, all right? They know that he's getting these text messages because allegedly it's showing that he's reading the text messages. He's receiving them and reading them. They're calling him. He's not responding. People go up to the house, banging on his front door, windows, etc., trying to find out where or if this guy has seen their loved ones. Still no answers whatsoever until one of the fiancés goes out of her way to bust into the house, break into the house through the basement, goes searching throughout the house, only to find all 3 of these men deceased in the backyard of this home. Now, when police finally show up to the crib, the man, the last surviving Chiefs fan, says, "Oh, they froze to their demise." That's what he says to the police. Yet, for 48 hours, if not more, family and friends were calling him, contacting him, trying to find out where and what happened to their loved ones. And as soon as police finally show up, that's when he's like, "Oh yeah, they must have froze. They froze to death. That's just what it is." Now, I don't know about you guys, but I know it is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. I know that it's, hey, not all the evidence is out here yet. The police are doing everything they can to unearth the real timeline of what really went down and what happened to these 3 individuals. But you cannot look at this and not wonder and not think that foul play is not involved in this situation. There's just no way you can't think that. But police right now are saying that foul play isn't even on the table right now. Now, I get it. They're not fully done doing what they do. They still need to look in every nook and cranny, lift every rock, look through everything. They still got to find out through toxicology and the autopsy on all three men on what was their cause of demise. They still don't have any of that. But in my personal opinion, this screams foul play. Screams foul play. And I will say this too, because I know some people, you know, are going to feel some type of way when I say, oh, you know, the individual that was involved in this, you know, that the individual, the man that was watching the games with them that, you know, was sitting there saying, oh, yeah, you know, they froze to death. Right. Yes, it's really easy for us to point fingers at him because he's the only one that survived. And he was still in that house for days, guys, for 2 whole days. Not answering phone calls, not answering text messages. He has 2 dogs, which we find out later that these 2 dogs were being babysat, which actually brings some questions up, which we are going to talk about the dogs being babysat. But these dogs were actually being dog sat, okay, somewhere else during this time. But he has 2 big dogs. And you know for a fact they love the outdoors, especially when they got to go number 2 and number 1. I mean, you know, depends if they're neutered or not. If they're not neutered, they're probably doing number 1 everywhere in the house, marking their territory. But you get what I'm saying. You're telling me, okay, outside of all that, this man didn't look outside at all, didn't see their 3 cars outside in the driveway or on the road in front of his house and not wonder, hey, where did the guys go? Did they take an Uber to go to the local watering hole to get a few more drinks, to get a couple shots in, to go kick it, whatever? What happened to my friends? Where are they? Not once did you ever go and look in the backyard for 2 seconds just to see how much it snowed the night before, to see if the snow that had fallen throughout the past those past few days, just to see how much is still on the ground, just to see if it melted away or not. Shoot, even to just go and get a breath of fresh air and enjoy his backyard. You're telling me he didn't go out and step out onto the patio and not see one of his friends deceased on the patio? Seems a bit odd to me. Seems a bit odd to me. Now, we got a lot of questions. People are wondering a whole lot of things, and so am I. And I know there's people out here that feel some type of way like, oh, we don't have the facts. Nobody knows everything. You know, how dare you guys, assume and blah, blah, blah. This guy could be innocent. And that's true. This guy could very well be innocent. But the timeline and the things that are being said right now are just not mathing right. So let's take a look at this. We got a couple news clips I want to share with you guys. Again, this is just odd. It's just very odd, y'all. Let's take a look at what they say they know so far as the timeline real quick. Let's take a gander. And of course, again, guys, please do me a favor. Hit that like. Let's take a gander. And of course, likes. Again, guys, please do me a favor. 300 likes. That would really, really mean a lot. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on Facebook. To my Facebook fam, what up? All right. Hit that follow button on my Facebook page too. Let's rock and roll.
Outside of a Kansas City home following a mysterious case of...
Hold on, guys. You need sound. All right.
3 men found dead outside of a Kansas City home following a Chiefs game. It's getting more and more attention and begging more questions about what happened.
Yeah, the person who owns that house says that his buddies just froze to death. Friends and family say the timeline is just one of the many details.
Again, guys, please do me a favor.
Adding up here. Kelsey
300 likes. That would really, really mean a lot. Hold on. Sorry, guys. What the? That was weird. Let's play that again.
Serious case of 3 men found dead outside of a Kansas City home following a Chiefs game. It's getting more and more attention and begging more questions about what happened.
Yeah, the person who owns that house says that his buddies just froze to death. Friends and family say the timeline is just one of the many details not adding up here. Kelsey Kernstein joins us to help break it all down. Kelsey, what's the latest today?
Adrian and Marky, good morning. So right now we are, of course, waiting for that autopsy and toxicology results. Those, of course, could take weeks. Now, the key issues that people want clarity on: why did these 3 men allegedly freeze to death? Why was the homeowner allegedly ignoring people banging on his door? And what evidence did police have to almost immediately rule out a homicide investigation? Now, here's what we know. On Sunday, January 7th, the 4 friends were at a home outside of Kansas City to watch the Chiefs game. Now, the game kicked off at 3:25 Central Time and ended almost exactly 3 hours later.
Okay, let me just say this really quick. The game started in the middle of the afternoon and it ended in the early evening. Early evening on a Sunday. And you know for a fact, a lot of us, okay, Sunday is a work night. It's not like you can go and just kick it all night and have a grand old time. You still got to wake up the next day. I mean, some of y'all like to brave it and go, if I'm going to be hungover, this better be the best hangover of my life. And then you guys go kick it on Sunday, but still, you risk it all, okay, for your 9 to 5, to suffer during your 9 to 5 on a Monday. But still, I'm wondering, mid-afternoon, early evening, the game is over. So what was going on between this, early evening till they were found, right? So again, game started early. Kickoff was at 3:25 Central Standard Time. It's late after the mid-afternoon. All right. Game was over almost 3 hours later to be exact. 6:24 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make that make sense. And I get it. You can still kick it there till 9 o'clock. And then it's like, well, it's time to go home because I got to wake up and make the donuts tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It's 9 to 5. It's a Monday. Usually everybody goes to work on a Monday, unless you're in the restaurant industry. So make this make sense. Okay? Make this make sense. Let me continue here. And I'll get to super chats here in just a minute.
According to a post on the team's social media. For the next 50 hours or so, loved ones heard nothing. A friend telling News Nation exclusively that, quote, early in the day on Tuesday, January 9th, the homeowner had seen messages from concerned relatives and was aware that at least 2 of the men had not made it home. Now, according to police, that night, one of the missing men's fiancée showed up at the house. She banged on the door, but no one answered. So she broke in through the basement and found one of the men dead on the back porch. She then called police, who found 2 other men dead in the backyard. Now, the next morning, police then issued a statement saying they found no obvious signs of foul play, adding that a search warrant wasn't required due to the homeowner's cooperation. Now, 3 days later, on Friday, January 12th, the victims were identified as 37-year-old David Harrington, 36-year-old Clayton McGinney, and 38-year-old Ricky Johnson. Harrington's mother told News Nation exclusively that, quote, nobody believes this story. Here's Mal Jackson, a reporter at News Nation's Kansas City station, on his conversations with his sources.
It is sort of interesting because all of the times, police departments are evasive for different reasons. But in this case, and in conversations with sources and, on the record and off the record conversations, I think the police department is as bewildered by this case as I think America is starting to become.
Our News Nation station, WDAF, reports that neighbors even saw a U-Haul truck in the driveway of his home, but we do not know why. But again, the homeowner has not been charged, and he is cooperating with police.
So the thing is I just saw just a second ago. Now, one thing that's very interesting is that at least News Nation is reporting about the U-Haul. Remember when we talked about this before? We talked about the U-Haul before. Let's not forget. I said there was there was people talking in the rumor mill saying that there was a U-Haul in the driveway or, in in front of the house in front of the crime scene. I think it's a crime scene, okay? If you're still investigating, if you're still looking into things, it's still a crime scene in my personal opinion. But the U-Haul was out in the front of the house or in the driveway of this house. This lady, who kind of looks like a cartoon to me, literally just said that. This reporter just said that. Seriously. So not only is it being thrown out here in the rumor mill, it's also being said in the news now. So this is official now to me. Okay. A U-Haul was seen outside of the house during the times of this thing. Why? The other thing too, okay? The other thing too, I'm starting to hear that this man is trying to moved out. Like he moved out I mean, it takes 2 seconds to move out of a house. Okay. It takes a day, right? It's a good solid day. Depends on how much clutter you got and how much you really lived in that house, but it's a house. So you tell me he moved out? I'm hearing that he moved out, but I haven't gotten any confirmation about that too. Again, at least we know now when it comes to that U-Haul did exist. Now, B12, I'm wondering the same thing. Did the dude kick rocks? Okay. Did the dude kick rocks? I don't know. And if he did, that's no bueno. Unless the landlord of the house, the owner of the actual house, told him to leave. Like, I need you out of my house. Like, I need to evict you effective immediately because of whatever. There's a possibility of that too, right? Watching Out just said, yes, he did. I'm wondering if he really did, though. Is there proof of that? Is there actual proof of him actually moving out? Because to me, that is the stupidest thing you could do when you got cops in the rest of the world now, especially this crazy ass true crime community staring right at you the entire time. Every move you make, all right? Every vow you break, you know what I'm saying? They'll be watching you. So why would you go and pack up your ish and kick rocks during this investigation? Again, suspicious in my personal opinion. But let's continue. I'm going to roll that back a little bit to hear what she had to say again. Or actually, I want to let the reporter say his thing one more again.
It is sort of interesting because all of the times, police departments are evasive for different reasons. But in this case, and in conversations with sources and, on the record and off the record conversations, I think the police department is as bewildered by this case as I think America is starting to become.
I think the bewilderment will be extinguished as soon as we get some sort of toxicology going on. Don't worry. I got to talk about the dogs, and we're going to talk about the dogs here in just a minute. Let's continue with this.
Our news station WDAF reports that neighbors even saw a U-Haul truck in the driveway of his home, but we do not know why. But again, the homeowner has not been charged, and he is cooperating with police. Now, there is no timeline for the toxicology reports, but according to the DOJ, the average turnaround is more than 30 days.
Okay, more than 30 days. Okay, so we won't know until like mid to late February about what actually is in their system, if there is anything in their system. It's very interesting. Now, the thing is, I do want to remind you of who the person that they are looking at right now, or everybody is. Everyone's suspicious of this man. His name is Jordan Willis, okay? He is a scientist, and he is a very, let's just be real. He's a highly, it sounds like he's a soldier, like highly decorated, but he's what's the word? What's the right word for that? He's a very talented scientist, right? He has had many, many years in his field, He knows exactly what he's doing. He was looking and doing vaccines for HIV. Okay, this is some serious stuff. He's doing some really serious, groundbreaking stuff that could save millions of lives. So he knows his way around he knows his way around a chemistry set. He knows his way around chemicals. I mean, at least I would assume so. Even the basics of chemistry 101, he kind of needs to know those things, right? To be able to do all this other stuff, to figure out how to vaccinate something that's claiming and making a lot of people's lives extremely difficult out here in these streets. Okay. So I'm interested in him and the fact that he is a scientist. And we talked about this on the other show. This is a guy, he knows his stuff. Apparently, he's very brilliant, very smart, extremely talented in his field. He would not have this job if he wasn't good at what he does. Now, I know that goes into, speculation, the speculation world, all right? But it is still nonetheless a very interesting piece of information that we should look at. Now, one thing I want to share with you guys. I played this for you guys in the past show when we talked about this, but I want to share it with you again because I think that this is there's something in here that I want to share. Hold on. Okay. I'm not showing you guys the whole video, but one thing I want to share with you guys is this, okay? Let me just play this piece. Again, very, 16 years. Let me show you guys this. Hold on. And it's just on this TikTok creator's screenshot kind of thing. But it says in here, okay, that 16 years of experience with molecular biology, 12 years experience merging wet and dry lab technologies, multiple years in protein design, in next generation sequencing and analysis, cell display technology, and something else. Okay. So he knows his thing. Okay. Bioinformatics and AI, vaccine design, experimental biologist. I mean, look, as you look at his resume, he knows his way around the lab. Okay? He probably wears his lab coat to sleep, y'all. Real talk. Okay? This is not somebody who doesn't know his way around some beakers and some graduated cylinders and whatnot. Okay, he knows some chemicals. So hold on, and I'm going to get my theory out the way right now. Hold on, let me just play a little bit of what she's saying here.
But look at this. This guy is apparently a very extinguished scientist. This is just part of his resume from his website that is now taken down. He has also taken down his Facebook. Somebody posted this online. Now, regarding his two dogs, there's been a lot of questions about them. Like, was he not taking them out to pee? How did the dogs not notice the bodies? Or how did he not notice the cars in the driveway? But a friend of the guy's said that he apparently didn't even have his dogs, that a family member had been watching them, which is, in my opinion, kind of strange. I've only had family members watch my dog when I've been out of town.
Okay. All right. We got to talk about the dogs really quick, guys. We got to talk about the dogs. And trust me, this is not off the beaten path too much, okay? But I have a theory. I'm just going to say that right now. I have a theory. And it could be absolutely wrong. It could be absolutely wrong. But at the same time, it's a possibility. I'm putting on the speculation hat really quick. All right, the tinfoil hat for just 2 seconds. Let's talk about the dogs. So you got 2 dogs, big old dogs. We've been sitting here going, wait a second. Why wouldn't he notice? Why wouldn't he notice about the friends outside if he's got 2 dogs and they got to go and do their business, right? They got to go make their deposits out in nature. You get what I'm saying? Drop a deuce, okay? Why wouldn't he notice, right? Now, what, according to this TikToker, they're saying that the dogs were being dog sat by some friends of his. Now, why would the dogs not be with him at his house? It's not like he's going out of town. Is he? He wasn't out of town. He was inside his home, in which the dogs know, right? They're accustomed to the home, watching the game. So it's not like he just went off and said, I'm going to Malibu. You know what I'm saying? So why were the dogs being dog sat at this time? Okay, theories. Number one, well, the only one I have in my head, which is still knucking futs. Okay? But I'm going to say it anyway. But I feel like there are no wrong answers in this particular case. What are the possibilities of him actually leaking some sort of gas, some sort of chemical out into the house that got those guys so sick that they ran out the back door and perished? What are the chances of him actually wearing some sort of hazmat or some sort of gas mask type of thing to protect himself, and had the dogs over at some friend's house to be dog sat while he did this unthinkable thing? And what are the chances? What are the chances if he did something that may not be seen in toxicology reports? Again, the dogs who are clearly his pride and joys. He loves them dogs. They're his freaking what's that thing called? The header of his Facebook post or his Facebook profile, okay, which apparently is now down. So he loves his dogs. Okay, he would die for his dogs, okay? But they were being babysat around the same time those 3 men passed on. Do the math. Think about it for a second. So it's not like he ran up and just like stuck him with a syringe, you know what I mean? Go to sleep. No, it's not like that at all. My theory is he released some sort of gas. He released some sort of chemical in the air that got those guys sick. And I think that they ran outside to get away from the smell or whatever it was. You know, it's fight or flight kind of thing. I think naturally they ran out the door to get some air. Something was choking them. Something was hurting them. And then they passed. 1 on the porch and 2 in the lawn. Maybe the one that was on the porch perished faster than the other 2. God only knows. But at the same time, like I said, speculation warning. But that instantly when I see the 2 dogs were not even there, makes me think, well, it's not like he has gas masks for dogs, for canines. I mean, do they even exist? Those kind of things? I highly doubt it. And I guarantee you that this is a guy that has all kinds of stuff, hazmat suits, protective gloves so he can handle chemicals, all that stuff, all that extra knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone type of items in his home because this is his job. It's like a painter would have, you know, those protective masks, some N95s and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Because it's part of their job, right? Same thing with a hazmat suit. So in my mind, I'm going, wait a second. He probably got extra lab coats. He's got all kinds of extra stuff at his home. So again, crazy theory, but it could be the theory. It could be it. But then again, it could just be them out here kicking it, having a grand old time, and they took the wrong stuff and they got sick. I don't know. That's very interesting, though. To me, I think there's a key here in the dogs being dog sat on a day that he's watching the game at home seems a bit choreographed, don't you think? But I digress. I just found that to be a bit interesting. You know, as I was rewatching those videos, I'm like, wait a second, something ain't right. And I think the key is the dogs being dog sat. What? Oh, I'm so busy spending time with my 3 other friends right now that I can't focus on the dogs. So, Aunt Susie, can you watch the dogs real quick? Because I got 3 guys coming over and I just can't concentrate on entertaining them and entertaining my 2 dogs at the same doggone time. Make that make sense. Anyway, to me, it sounds, yes, somebody just said it. Cyan, yes, premeditation. This is premeditated. Okay, that's what I think. All right. And it, you know, you never know. He might have been trying to experiment something, or he just felt like doing something unthinkable, like, you know. But again, I don't know if anybody else has said that theory, and maybe that theory is absolutely crazy. It may be crazy, and it may be completely wrong. But again, as you look back at this stuff, something ain't right. Amy, you're right. The dog sitter should be questioned. In fact, they should interview those dogs too. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. They can't talk. Don't let those cartoons fool you. Okay, real quick though, because we're going to continue. We got a few more things to look at. Lisa White, thank you so much for becoming a member. I think you're just refreshing your thing, but I appreciate you. Welcome to the family. Welcome back if you're coming back. Hey, just like Lisa, hit that join button down below. Become a member of the family. All right. Support the channel if you can. That'll be greatly appreciated. Susie J, thank you so much for the £5. I appreciate it. He only lived there 6 months. Check out where he lived, where he used to live in Denver. Any other demises or any other deaths around him or near him? Very sus. Did he drug them inside and drag them out? See, that's the thing. I don't know. But I do think that something happened that caused them to get out of the house. And I think, judging by the distance of where they were, I think, and of course this is just theory, but I do think that some people, or some perished faster than others, if that makes sense. Depending, you know, because of whatever chemical he may have put out into the house. And then, you know, of course, you got to remember, there was 48 hours and then some, 50 plus hours, they're saying, from the time that they watched the game to the time that they found them, the first person on the porch in the backyard, where he did not call, he did not pick up any phone calls, did not respond to any text messages. He had 50 plus hours to clean anything up if he had to. So if there was any remnants of chemicals, you know what I mean, that were on the walls or on the floor, anything of that sort, he could have done, that could have been the thing. It could have been a simple spray. He could have gone up and sprayed them in the face with something bad too. But like I said, that is just a theory, because right now they're not saying that there's any punctures, you know what I mean? Like a needle. They haven't said anything of that sort. Like, oh yeah, there was, you know, needle marks in their necks or in their arms or whatever. They haven't said anything of that sort, right? And then of course they're saying that they haven't seen anything in the house that gives them any vibe that they may have been partaking in some sort of powder, if you get what I'm saying too. So again, that's the reason why they're saying so far they see no foul play. So he may have figured out something that could be untraceable. Maybe. But then again, maybe not. You know, once they scrub their hands, you know what I mean, do everything they can. There's things that they're going to be able to find, hopefully on the surface and in the blood, I hope, when they do this toxicology report and when they do this this autopsy. But nonetheless, it's still odd. Still very, very odd. Let's get to Banfield.
Go all Canada on you again, because tomorrow in my hometown of Winnipeg, north of North Dakota, the high temperature will be 0 Fahrenheit, the high. And the overnight low will be -5. And that in Canada, in Winnipeg, is what we call Thursday. It's not a problem for us up there. That's standard off. I grew up that way. That's like an average winter day. We bundled up like Kenny from South Park and off we went to school and work, and we knew how to survive it. But we also knew this. It could kill you if you mess around. So don't get drunk and pass out in a snowbank because you can literally die.
Okay, hold on. I mean, it's true. Cold is cold, right? Cold is dangerous out here in these streets. But I don't agree. Okay? You'd have to be homeless and no access to any type of car or facility that can permeate heat. Okay? So I don't agree with that. But again, she's just kind of leading into the story. Let's take a listen.
Which brings me to Kansas City. It's a place where I don't usually think that kind of thing can happen, but, you know, never say never. Because police there say 3 friends, diehard Kansas City Chiefs fans, got together at their buddy's house 2 Sundays ago to watch the Chiefs take on the Las Vegas Raiders. And that was the last anyone heard from them. From David Harrington, from Clayton McGeeney, and from Ricky Johnson. For 2 whole days. Friends and family just kept calling and searching for these guys. Until one family member decided, hey, let's go check back at the house where they watched the game. And wouldn't you know it, they found all 3 men dead, frozen, on the back porch and in the backyard. Weird, I know, but here's where it gets even weirder. The buddy who was hosting the football night, he did not have much to say except they froze to death. Again, there is a scene from The Shining in his backyard. They froze to death. So the families of those 3 men rightfully want more answers. And that is where Malik Jackson comes in. He is a reporter at Kansas City.
Malik is everywhere, man.
Fox 4 News, and he's been on top of the story since it broke. Look, I don't know how the police are investigating this case, Malik, but I would be really suspect if all the host of the party could say was they froze to death and not much more. What am I missing?
Yeah, it's a story that we really don't understand. It really doesn't make sense. And for full transparency, we've reached out to KCPD, the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department, and they seem to be bewildered too, because as you were speaking about being from Canada and the temperature being low, it has been cold here over the last few days with this Arctic blast that moved in. But that particular Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, the high temperatures were over 40 degrees. So it is really interesting how they would have frozen to death. More importantly, they're at their best friend's house. So if they're at their best friend's house, outside, if they get cold, theoretically, you'd think you could go inside of the home.
Let me just say this. The temp was not as cold as they're saying it was. Let's talk about that really quick. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, they froze. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. All 3 of them, though, all 3 of them. And let's not forget, they all had an opportunity to walk out, go into their cars. None of them had a cell phone. None of them could have even, let's just say, climbed the fence if they were locked in to the backyard. I'm just saying, and I get it, not everybody can climb over a fence, okay? Not everybody has those kind of physical abilities. I get that piece, okay? But at the same time, you tell me the temperature was not as cold for the next few days as well, but they ended up freezing? Make that make sense. This guy, Malik, ain't wrong. It doesn't make sense. And then also, you can't get back in the house. So he just locked you guys out. Again, if it's like, F you, man, I'm just going to the car. I'm going to my car then. I'm turning it on and I'm putting that heat to full blast and thawing myself out. I don't care how drunk a person is. It just doesn't make sense to be like, it's all right, I'll just sleep in the snow. Nah, I don't think I've ever seen anybody. I mean, I've seen some drunk people in my day. Okay. I think we all have, but I have never seen anybody do that. Okay. To the point where they pass away. It just doesn't make sense. Let me let Malik continue talking his talk.
So
Yeah.
a lot of questions, Ashley.
And look, we saw the pictures, and it's pretty clear these are not elderly people. They're not disabled people. They're not kids. They're 36, 37, and 38 years old.
Yep.
You know, prime of their life. The homeowner in this case, has anybody said like that he might be a suspect here? Like, is there at least an investigation where something sounds hinky, so we're doing something about it?
So there is an open investigation, and right now police haven't named a suspect or even a person of interest in this case just yet. We do know that the day that this story, that Fox 4 was able to break this story, that we were able to make contact with his family, and that's how we figured out that he was telling his family members that his friends froze to death. But over the last weekend, a viewer sent us a tip, and there was a U-Haul outside of the home just this last weekend. So it begs the question, where is he? And the only person that could answer that is him right now. But
Wow.
no suspect. There's no person of interest that the police department has enlightened us about at this point.
Okay.
Let me just say something really quick. Again, now people are wondering if he kicked rocks, that the U-Haul and all that. And it sounds like he may have kicked rocks, which is even worse, which is even wilder to me, which basically says him guilty. He had his hand in this situation. And maybe of course he moved his ass. He moved quick. So clearly he's nervous about something. And I get it. He doesn't want to be, pinpointed or, looked at as a pariah out here. But at the same time, because, everybody's looking at this and going, the math ain't mathin'. And I understand that concern, but I'm sitting here going, well, wait, what you got to think about optics. You got to sit here and just take the glares and looks. If you really didn't do anything, if you did not have your hand in the passing of these three men, then you stand on your laurels. You stand tall. You die on that hill that you're standing on then. You don't pack up your stuff and run. You pack up your stuff and run. That says him guilty. Big time. Him guilty. Big time. Okay. And also, I just wanted to say, Malik was talking normal a second ago, and then suddenly he switched into reporter mode. Did you notice that? Am I the only one who noticed that? Like the sing-songy thing, you know what I mean? Where they all talk like this. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. First, he was like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. And then suddenly, these three guys, and suddenly they just passed away. It's interesting. But anyway, let Malik finish this. Let Malik finish his interview.
You are a great reporter. You were able to talk to the mother of David Harrington. Her name is Jennifer Marquez. How is she digesting what the police are saying to her?
I mean, it's difficult. She just doesn't understand how this could have happened. As we talked about at the top, it just really doesn't make sense. And she's in that state right now. And speaking of state, she lives out of state. So she's in Arkansas. I actually spoke with her again on the phone today. She's making her way up to Kansas City, but this was her oldest child. He wasn't even supposed to be born. So she calls him her miracle baby. And now he dies in this weird manner, and she wants answers. We spoke exclusively, with her last week. And here's what she told us. Take a listen.
Everybody's furious. Nobody believes this story. None of his friends, none of the families, none of us believe it. Only the police. Only the police are saying that there's no foul play. Only the police who contacted me today are saying that the story that is saying makes sense.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television.
Yes. I understand why the mom, one of the moms is sitting here going, this is absolute trash. And I think it's interesting that they're not saying the guy's name. And I understand that piece. I get it. They're not saying his name for a reason, because he's not being looked at as a bad guy right now. He's not being looked at as a suspect or anything of that sort. But I still think that it's interesting that all the movement that's happened recently, now he could potentially be on the road right now. That's weird. The other thing though, I will say this though too. I can understand why one would want to move out of that house. It's a representation of something tragic. You wake up every day and you're going to remember all the moments that you had with your three friends. Let's just look at this for a second. Like he's innocent, because he's still innocent until proven guilty, right? So imagine you're going home every day and you're going into this empty room, constantly remembering the last few moments that you had with your friends before they were found, like she said, like The Shining, frozen in the backyard. Imagine that. Sure, that's traumatizing. Sure, I'd want to pack up my stuff and kick rocks too. But still, when you have investigation and you have the true crime world slowly but surely starting to catch wind of this story and starting to get savvy with this situation, moving and trying to pack up your stuff and running is the worst look in the world. It says you're guilty without saying you're guilty, okay? And right now, if he really did pack up and run, you heard it from Malik, the reporter from Kansas City. You heard it from him as well. They're wondering if he's run off. That seems weird, okay? The other thing, Lil Patty, thank you so much for that information, Lil Patty. In Missouri, legally, it takes 30 days to evict someone, 60 to 90 days if you have kids. Blammo. That's really interesting. That's good information to know as well. So it's not like his landlord said, the owner of the house said, I need you to get out because it's ruining the value of my home or something like that. Nah. Then if that's the case, he would have 30 days to pack up his ish and get the hell out. Unless he already was on the last few days of his lease and he had like a 6-month lease. Maybe that's a possibility, but I don't know. Just seems like the timing is a little bit weird. Remember, dogs were being dog sat. There was allegedly a U-Haul outside the house, and you have 3 men gone in the backyard. It's a bit odd. It's a bit odd. But Lil Patty, thank you so much for that information. That's good information to know. So it's not like they, unless again, this was like his last party at the house. Hey guys, come on over. We're going to be kicking it, yada, yada, yada. And then I got to move, I'm moving this week or whatever. But the timing seems a bit weird, right? And in fact, I feel like police would be like, you stay right here. Talk to your landlord. Don't move. Don't go anywhere without us knowing or something. You know what I mean? It just seems odd. It just seems odd. But we gotta ask all the questions before we, jump down the accusation hole. You see what I'm saying? But there's a lot of, Shannon, a lot of what ifs, because this one just, like I said, ain't math. And I got another video for you guys. Don't worry. We got another one because there's some family members that have spoken out on, this is so weird, because there's a story about him being seen showing up in just in his boxers and a t-shirt holding the empty wine glass saying, yeah, they froze. It seems a bit odd. It's really, really odd, which we got to talk about. I got this members chat that I want to pull up. Thank you so much, Hollywood 2000, for being a member for 24 months. See, we got people here that have been supporting for over 2 years. This is 2 years. Damn, 2 years. We can do that again. Again, thank you. Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much, Hollywood, for supporting. He knows what happened in that house. Yeah, obviously he does. He obviously does. He's just not saying anything. I don't think, and I also think people aren't asking the right questions yet. They're just not asking the right questions yet. You see what I'm saying? I think he did something. Again, let me say this. I could be absolutely wrong. I could be absolutely wrong. Sorry, hold on. I could be absolutely wrong. I could be absolutely wrong, but at the same time, something about this tells me he knows exactly what happened in that house. He knows exactly what went down. It seems too convenient that he said, as they're watching the game, by the way, let me pull this up again, which is still let me just pull this part up again. Let's look at this timeline again. Let's look at it. And the timeline's trash because there's not much. There's just two things that we know. The game started at 3:25 Central Standard Time, and the game was over at 6:24 Central Standard Time. So his friends were still over during that time. And then he said, "Oh man, I'm tired. I'm gonna go to sleep, guys. But you guys keep kicking it. Enjoy yourself." And he went to sleep. So again, from 6:24 p.m. or 7, let's just say 7 o'clock. What were they doing from 7 until 2 days later when they were found in the backyard? They were watching the game, and then, suddenly he's like, "Yeah, I'm tired. I'm going to sleep." What could have been done during that time? Again, we're just exercising all the questions. We're exercising all the possibilities because there are a good deal of possibilities here. I got another video. Let me pull that up. Like I said, the timeline is just freaking weird. And it's just one big hole, right? One big ass hole. Real quick, Tammy, thank you so much for the $2 super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I really appreciate it. Again, shameless plug, but please go check out PascalMerch.com. Go check out my hoodies and my t-shirts, all custom stuff. I got this Valentine set, that Valentine's Day set. You guys named it. It is called the My Funny Valentine set. Go check it out. It is available live right now on my website. Okay, go check it out if you're looking for something nice for your loved ones for the Valentine's Day thing. Okay, but let me continue here. We got another video, and this is the one that I wanted to share with you guys because there's something that's being said in this particular video from family members that are talking about not only just how they don't believe the hype. They are not believing the hype of, these three just went outside and both mysteriously all passed at the same time. It just seems a bit weird, right? They don't believe that at all. But also family members are also talking about the time when they actually saw this man after the passing of their three loved ones. So let's take a look at this video. Okay. Shout out to Dan Abrams. Let's take a listen to this one. Don't forget to hit that like button down below. I see a bunch of y'all in here. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to every single last one of y'all. I appreciate you for being here. It really does mean a lot. Don't forget to hit that like button down below. I'd love to get it past 700 likes. 700 likes. Let's get it past 700. Okay? A like don't cost a thing. It's free, but it also helps this channel continue growing and being beautiful and thicker than a snicker. So hit that like button down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, crush that follow button, please and thank you. Okay, we got to get into this. All right.
A bizarre story out of Kansas City remains a mystery tonight. 3 men found dead outside of a friend's home after they'd all gone over to watch the Chiefs game with him last Sunday. The living friend, whose home they had gone to, never contacted the police, claiming the 3 men identified as 38-year-old Ricky Johnson, 37-year-old David Harrington, and 36-year-old Clayton McGinney froze to death outside of his home. According to Kansas City police, loved ones were trying to get in touch with the men, but were not getting responses. That's when the fiancée of one of them went to the home. No one answered the front door. The woman broke through a basement window and found a body on the back porch. 2 other bodies were found by the police in the backyard shortly after. Now, some family and friends are not buying the explanation that, 3 guys just freeze to death outside someone's home when they went to watch a football game. David Harrington's mother, Jennifer Marquez, recently spoke to our Kansas City affiliate to air her frustrations.
I'm furious. Everybody's furious. Nobody believes this story.
Friends of the three men also took to social media to air their anger. One friend saying, "This man was inside his home alive while my friends were dead in his yard for Lord knows how long. They were all hanging out since after the game Sunday. He knew people were looking for them. He read messages of people searching for him on Tuesday. My husband banged on his door for 20 minutes. My friend banged on a door and then busted a window and yelled and announced her presence while she's inside, and still nothing from him. Then the cops come 10 minutes later and he comes out nonchalant in his boxers with an empty wine glass in his hand. Nothing is adding up. Dave, Clay, and Ricky need and deserve justice. They didn't deserve this."
Okay. You're seeing this. Okay. This is from a family, from family members, from people who are there, friends, family, etc. The multiple times that they actually did whatever they could to get in touch with this gentleman. Of course, this man, and they put his name in there. They blotted that out. Okay, it's doctored, but at the same time, we all know the man's name. We all know what's going on here. All right, at least the public knows exactly who this is and what's going on here. But we just don't know why. Because again, I was going to sleep on this, and wait to post tomorrow, but I can't. This man, such and such, we already know Jordan. All right. Was inside his house, his home, alive while my friends were gone in his yard for Lord knows how long. They were all hanging out since after the game Sunday. He knew people were looking for him. He read messages of people searching for him on Tuesday. My husband banged on the door for 20 minutes. Banged on the door for 20 minutes. Then another friend banged on the door and busted a window and yelled and announced her presence while she's inside, and still nothing from him. Cops show up 10 minutes later. He comes out nonchalant. This is the part that drives me nuts. He shows up nonchalant in his skivvies, holding an empty wine glass in his hand. Please explain to me what the is going on here. Does this make sense to you or no? It's so weird to me. He was reading the text messages. People were calling him incessantly. People were pounding on his door. People broke into his house. And then when suddenly the cops show up, he shows up, walks out, chilling in his boxers, holding an empty wine glass, saying, yeah, they froze to death. Nicole B, exactly. He didn't even call the police when someone broke in. No. That's weird, right? All the while, you know for a fact those cars were still out in the front yard. You know what I mean? They're in the driveway, front driveway, out in the probably out on the side of the road in front of the house. So they're sitting there going, yep, that's Dave, Clay, and Ricky's car right there. All of them are right here. So where are they? Again, make that make sense. That doesn't, see what I'm saying? This is the part that I'm going, wait, that is so odd, man. And I get it that they're saying, you know, the rumor mill, okay, the streets are talking, and they're saying that this guy's a little socially awkward, that he's a little weird, okay? Now, that doesn't mean automatically that he's a bad guy. Doesn't automatically mean that he has a sinister bone in his body, but at the same time, it does make you wonder. It does make you think, what the F is going on here? Even if he was socially inept, socially awkward, it has bouts of severe social anxiety, if he was incel, or what is it? What is it called? I forgot what it's called. Yeah, it's an incel, I think, right? Whatever. Even if he was one of those titles, does not automatically mean that he'd be out here doing some bad things, but still, all the information, including this little post, paints a very strange picture. And we did play out other possibilities. Maybe he was scared to call the police when he found out his friends had passed away. Maybe he's the one who administered some party favors during the game that caused them to get sick and pass. Maybe. But he still let those people stay out in his house, out of the house for days, gone. It's freaking weird, y'all. It's freaking weird. Let me continue.
Autopsy results are currently pending, but as of now, the police are saying no signs of foul play. And they're not treating this as a homicide investigation. That seems curious, right? They just died? They just froze? I'm sure we're going to get more information once the autopsies come out, but I mean, I'm even trying to think about how this could happen, right? They go to the game, they watch the game,
right?
They go outside, they can't get back into the house.
But that's weird.
But what, none of them had cell phones? I mean, I just don't understand it. Anyway.
They don't have cell phones. They don't have the keys to their own cars. And also, if it came to push, if push came to shove, if that's even a phrase anymore, I'd be going to the next door neighbors. I'd be knocking on doors if I was that cold. Right? I'd be doing everything I could to not freeze. And I know there's other theories out here that maybe they all partook in something, right? In a party favor, a little sugar, a little powder, all right? And then, of course, the 3 passed, but he happened to fight through the side effects of whatever he had taken. That's a possibility too, but at the same time, explain 2 days of not responding to anybody calling, 3 bodies being passed away in your backyard. Explain all that stuff. Explain all that. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay? Martini, yep, I can see that. The already moving theory works with the dogs being dog sat. That's true. That's true. I can see that part too, but at the same time, I'd be like, I put them in their kennel. I'd cage them up or something while I'm packing things up. Yes, that's a possibility of like, yeah, I'm packing my things up and I'm leaving. I need to, the dogs are going to get in the way. My dogs are too jumpy and they're too aggressive. I need them away while we pack things up and move them into this U-Haul. I got people coming in and out of the house all day long. I don't want to be constantly having to chase the dogs. I can see all that. That makes sense. That part can make sense. That is, if his lease was up, if he really was planning on moving around that time, unless he knew he was going to commit this crime. Like, we got to put out the speculation tinfoil hat on. Unless he knew that he was going to do this unthinkable act and he choreographed everything so that if it was successful, which it clearly was, unfortunately, he could pack up his stuff and move right after said thing. That's a possibility. So it all looked like, no, I was just moving. My lease was up and I was moving, but he wanted to do one final act, one attempt before he leaves. That's a possibility. That is. But I lean on the side of he was about to do something. He did something that he didn't want his dogs involved. Also, you got to remember too, if there was some sort of chemical released into the room, and maybe it's only affects humans, that stuff could be on the dogs, stay on the dogs, etc. Right? So he wants those dogs away. I mean, again, that's just a crazy theory, but it's a possibility nonetheless, right? But again, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, you know, like I said, it's just so weird, man. This whole thing is just so doggone weird. Okay. And there is no definitive answer to this. And that's what's frustrating about this. Let me let him continue. But yeah, why wouldn't they call somebody to go next door? I mean, literally, if I was in a situation where I had no keys to my car, my cell phone happens to be inside the house, and I'm locked out of the house, I'm knocking on doors. I'm going down the street. I'm trying to do whatever I can to get somewhere warm. But again, for over the next couple days, it was not freezing outside. Okay. Temperatures were still up.
Big show tomorrow. We're covering all things crime.
Okay. And he's just talking about other things. Because there's a lot of other stories going on right now. A lot of hearings, a lot of court stuff going on. But see, this is the thing, guys. We don't have an answer for this. We don't even know where this guy is right now, if he's actually moved out or not. We don't know if he's kicked rocks. And if he did kick rocks, where did he go? Did he leave the city? Did he leave the state even? Did he go back to his hometown? Where did this guy go? All of this does not make any sense. And that's what's so frustrating about this. But I will say this, I hope the autopsy reports and the toxicology report come back with some real information. I am praying to God that we get some real answers here, okay? Because it still is not, none of this is mathing right now at all. And the theories, obviously, are going to be running crazy until we actually hear something from police, as far as from the medical examiner's office, as far as at least the autopsy, right? At least the autopsy, and most definitely the toxicology, because they're saying from what they see at face value, no harm was committed on their bodies. So there's something in the blood. There's something in the blood, or there's something on the skin, something. And hopefully we get some answers on this very, very soon. It's freaking crazy, guys. What a wild story. Anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really does mean a lot. Obviously, I'm keeping an eye on this case and on this story. When we get more information, you know for a fact we're going to be talking about it, okay? But I do find it interesting. Dude showed up in his boxers and holding an empty wine glass. What are he, like a demented Hugh Hefner? Like, I don't know what's up with this. It's so weird to me. And something's just not right. Something's not right. We'll get more information very soon, hopefully. I'll keep an eye out. Obviously, there's going to be family members speaking out more and putting this story out here as much as they can. So hopefully we get some real answers here very, very soon. So do me a favor before you guys head out. Hit that like button down below, like I always say. Please and thank you. Love to see it go past 700 likes. Shoot, 800 likes would be dope. Okay? It helps the channel grow. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. Hit that notification bell so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it is random. So be sure to do that. All right? That'd be greatly appreciated. Of course, again, don't forget to check out PascalMerch.com. This hoodie set, My Funny Valentine hoodie set, is available right now to consume and to get for your beautiful loved ones, or even for yourself if you just want to feel love all over your body. Okay, go over there. Pascal Merch is pinned to the top of the chat, and it's there's a link in the description box down below. Go check it out, consume it, buy it, enjoy it. And I will be talking to you guys very soon. All right. I appreciate all y'all. If anything's popping off, you know for a fact I'll be here to give you guys the information, and hopefully done in my own way of telling a story. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Much love, y'all. And stay warm out there. It's cold right now. Real talk. And that's not because of the story that I just covered. I'm just being serious. Be warm out there because it's getting crazy. Okay, crazy cold. Anyway, guys, this is the Pascal Show. Bye.